All right, call to order, regular joint session at 6 p.m. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Moore,
Here.
Councilmember Morabito,
Here.
Councilmember Nig,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Marquez,
Here.
Mayor DiFilippo.
Here. We are going to have our flag salute presented by Dustin Nig.
Please rise.
Please join me in a brief moment of silence. Thank you. So first up, we're going to have a couple presentations. We're going to start first with a proclamation for Veterans Day. And I'd like to invite our veteran council member, Dustin Nig, proud Marine, to accept that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm wearing Nikes because I feel pretty comfortable.
Dustin would have worn better shoes had he known he was going to be
I
asked.
feel like a Zoom call, you know? Feels good in my back.
So Dustin is a veteran Marine, and we appreciate his service, and we appreciate all the service of all our veterans across this nation, and especially the ones here in Wildomar. And thank you for thank you for accepting this on behalf of veterans. Do you want me to read a little bit of it?
No, it's Veterans Day is always a thing that I get. Veterans Day is always a soft spot in my heart. It's a way to celebrate, everyone that has made the call to serve their nation, whether in any capacity and whatever that means, right? You all sign the check, pay, basically deposit and give the government your life, if they choose to cash it. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad we had a nice couple of days off. The Marine Corps birthday was Monday, followed into Veterans Day, so it's been a rough week. But I'm happy to accept this on behalf of the city.
Thank you. So in just a moment, I'm going to invite up some very special people. So we lost a beloved community member here a while back, Kenneth Mays, and many of you may know him from his comments here in council. He had a lot of passion and love for his city. He loved Wildomar, and he sought all the best things for Wildomar. He spent a lot of his time, dedicated a lot of his time and resources to helping to better Wildomar and helping to try to point out some things we could do better. He didn't always agree with us. He didn't always like us even. But that's okay. He was always respectful, and he always engaged with us respectfully and in good faith, and he always wanted what was best. And we all respected him, and we all appreciated him, and he will be missed, and he is loved. And we want to also thank his family for their sacrifices that they've made as he's given a lot of himself to our city. And on behalf of the city, we want to present a proclamation to his wife of 45 years, who he loved dearly and built a life here in Wildomar with their son Josh. And just want you to know that he's missed. He's missed by us. We respect him, and his void is definitely noticed. And so on behalf of the city, we'd like to present you with this proclamation in his honor. I would love you to come up here. So I'm going to read a little bit of it. I won't read all of it. There's lots of whereases and whereuntos. So, whereas Kenny believes strongly that doing things the right way mattered, that decisions should be made responsibly and in the best interest of the public, and he devoted his time and energy to ensuring that Wildomar lived up to those principles. And then there's a few more whereases and stuff. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City Council of the City of Wildomar does hereby honor and remember Kenneth Mays for his steadfast civic spirit, his devotion to doing what was right, and his lasting impact on the community he served.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
These flowers, and can we get a picture with you?
And then Lynn, my nonprofit was able to get some old of the street signs, and we did pick this one out for you.
Thank you.
That's cool.
We'll get everyone.
Do you mind if we get a picture together?
Oh, no, is fine. Where do you want us to go?
Right here.
Right here?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm crying.
You're fine.
Oh, man.
I'll help you with that. That brings us to department reports, and we are going to start with our police department quarterly update, presented by Lieutenant Reese.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, City staff. I have for you guys your quarterly statistics for July, August, September of this year. Start with the calls for service. As you can see, the top numbers represent 2025. The numbers in gray represent 2024. For the month of July, we had 107 additional calls this year compared to last year. For the month of August, we had 143 calls for service additional this year compared to last year. And for September, we had 241 additional calls this year compared to last year. Arrests. Felony arrests for the month of July in green will be for 2025, and in gray is for 2024. So in July, it dropped down a little bit from 19 to 15. In August, it went from 8 in 2024 to 16, so I like that. And then September, it was about average, 15 and 15. Misdemeanor arrests were down across the board for all 3 months. Your Part 1 property and violent crimes in a 6-month period, aggravated assaults from 2025 compared to 2024 were up 5. Your robberies were up 1. We had 3 additional rapes, 1 additional homicide. Looks like 15 additional burglaries. I'm sorry, we were down 15 burglaries. Our larcenies were up 8, and then vehicle thefts were down 8. Part 1 violent crimes, aggravated assault, robbery, rape, and homicide. Really quick, aggravated assault can encompass domestic violence, not just assault with a deadly weapon, so it encompasses a lot of different things. From July of 2024 to 2025, you guys were down 1 aggravated assault. You're up 2 robberies compared to 0. You're actually down 1 rape, and then no homicides in July. For August of 2025, you had 9 aggravated assaults compared to 1 in 2024. You had 1 robbery, 2 rapes compared to none the previous year, and no homicides. In September, the aggravated assaults were up 1, but robbery was down. Your rapes were even, and unfortunately there was 1 homicide. Part 1 property crimes, your burglary, larceny, and vehicle theft. For July, August, and September of 2025, you guys had 3 burglaries compared to 10 in 2024, 22 larcenies compared to 21, and 4 vehicle thefts compared to 7 in 2024. For August, you had 9 burglaries compared to 5 the year prior. You had 23 this year compared to 24 last year as far as larcenies, and 7 vehicle thefts compared to 5. And then for September, you had 3 burglaries compared to 6, 21 larcenies compared to 22, and 4 vehicle thefts up from 3 the year prior. Average response times. Priority 1 are most serious response times. That is, we need somebody there ASAP. As you can see, they're all pretty good response times under that nice magical 10-minute mark. So deputies got there quick. As you can see, priority 2, it increases, and then priority 3s and 4s. Priority 2 is still a top priority for us. However, there are many instances, calls for service, where it may be like an alarm at a house, where deputies are going to show up, but they're going to also wait for backup. They're going to wait for additional resources, K9, Star 9, a drone, whatever it may be. So these times do get a little skewed. The priority 3s and 4s are lower priority calls. If you see on there where it says CFS, that is calls for service. So there were, 308 priority 3 calls for service in September. I looked at all 308. A lot of them, believe it or not, were in a block that were so skewed because of the homicide. All our resources poured into the homicide. So unfortunately, these calls had to pend, which kind of made them lag. Traffic collisions. In July, we had 31. In August, we had 34. In September, we had 32. Fatal traffic collisions, we only had 1 in July. And then total citations by the motors, we had 241 in July, 291 in August, and 185 in September. I guess I don't have to tell you what month the motor took vacation? No? No? Okay. Primary collision factors for July 2025. We had 15 that were related to unsafe speed, 9 to unsafe turns, 7 to sign violations. For August, we had 17 for unsafe speed, 10 for unsafe turn, and 7 for sign violations. And in September, it was 16 for unsafe speed, 9 for unsafe turn, and 7 for sign violations. Other than that, I'm open to any questions if you have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Joseph? No? Bridget?
Good job. Thank you.
Just one question.
Yes.
When does the new motor officer start?
He's already started.
Oh, okay.
Started in July.
Got it.
Yeah. That's why you'd see July and August, the numbers were substantially better.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for the great job you guys are doing. And we've had a little extra attention lately,
Absolutely.
and really appreciate all the diligent and dedicated hard work you guys put in every day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up we have the Fire Department quarterly update.
Mayor Pro Tem, Council, good evening. So tonight we're going to be going over the third quarter stats for Wildomar City, the incident statistics, what we did, where we did it, who we collaborated with, and the OFM, Office of the Fire Marshal. So for this quarter, Wildomar City has ran a total of 1,370 incidents within the city. Quarter 2 was 1,015, so you guys are up a few hundred calls on that. Station 61, Engine 61, out of Station 61, ran 433 of those calls. Squad 61 ran 412 of those calls. And then with mutual aid, Station 94, Canyon Hills, ran 36. Station 68 from Menifee ran 105. And Station 73 in Temecula ran a total of 2. Of those calls, you had 1 structure fire, 75 traffic collisions, 5 wildland fires, and a total of 803 medical aids. This is a breakdown of where the calls are occurring for the last quarter. We'll go over your automatic aid. So Wildomar assisted Murrieta City 0 times. Murrieta ran into the city of Wildomar a total of 2 times. Wildomar did assist Lake Elsinore, the city of Lake Elsinore, a total of 54 times. And assistance was received by Lake Elsinore a total of 36 times. Received by the city of Menifee a total of 105 times. And received from the city of Temecula a total of 2 times. Office of the Fire Marshal did 99 plan reviews, 57 in Q2 with a 10-day average turnaround time, which is what we're always trying to hit. Your fire inspections, we did 107 inspections complete. There was 14 in Q2 with 100% average 2 days turnaround time, and I'm assuming that 14 is a misquote on there. And with that, I will take any questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions? No? The presentations are so thorough tonight, we don't have any questions. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, next up we have the Wildomar Library Quarterly Report, presented by Sandra Budegum. Did I say that? Brodigam. Sorry, I missed an R there. Thank you.
That's okay. Enter to change? Enter or down? I can do this, I just don't remember which one. It's been 3 months.
We'll push the right hand side.
Okay, that works. City Council members, Madam Mayor, our guests. The Wildomar Library's third quarter report, which is July, August, and September. It includes a little bit of our summer reading program and goes into the beginning of the year. Community services. This includes the computer sessions. Those are people that come into the library to use our computers. 521 for July, 479 for August, and 492 for September. A total of 1,516 for the quarter. Wi-Fi sessions. The number is high because each time they change to go to somewhere else, it's counted. So 2,900, followed by 3,582, and in September, 2,918 for a total of 5,314. And also, our Wi-Fi is available from outside the building, as often we have people parking in the parking lot using it in the mornings. Reference questions. These are actual questions where people have asked for library assistance in finding things, research questions, using the equipment, things unrelated to checkout and returns and accounts. 1,346. August, 1,171, and September 1,226. Program attendance, 1,496 people. In August, 778 people, and in September, 568. The difference you see in July is the summer reading programs. Literacy and educational services. Total visits, 4,915, followed in August by 4,616, and September 4,668. So we're constantly staying just a little bit under 5,000 visitors per month. Circulation, 4,257, August 4,685, and September 4,811. And you'll see circulation by age category at the bottom. So you can see how the children, teens, and adults are using the library's collection. Programs. In July we had 57 programs. August 39 programs, and September 39 programs. And for a small library, that is usually considered quite large. New memberships: July 99, August 98, and September 113. Now that doesn't include replacement cards. Those are official new memberships. And all that was done in the total open hours of 196 for July, 193 for August, and 200 open hours in September. New and upcoming programs: Safe Youth. We have had our first session. This is done with an outside people interested in the community, interested in teaching children safe habits and connecting them and their families to local resources having to do with health, and making it so they're not quite so afraid when they need to attend a health-related event. And that is happening twice a month. Walk-in tutoring, right now it's one time a month. It's centered on Spanish speaking, although anyone can come. It works with English conversation. It works with understanding forms and helping people fill out forms. It helps with computer use, since so many government departments are requiring everything to be done online. We have this session so we can not just assist them, but also bring them up to speed on how to use the technologies, make them more comfortable using the technologies. Flight Path is our grant having to do with the science of birds, bird survival, bird migration. And this Saturday we will, as part of that program, we will be having a pollinator craft, which will make it a little bit fun for the kids to get seeds and to plant things that will provide the food for the birds so that they'll continue coming back to our communities. Not on this, but something I've just done in the last couple of days, we've reaffirmed that the Wildomar Library will be a free personal tax site with the aid of AARP volunteers. Now, even though the volunteers are AARP, you are not required to be an AARP member or even to be a senior. It's just they only do personal. If you have anything that falls outside of the range of personal, they are not trained in how to do it. Okay, well, that's my report. Do we have any questions?
Thank you. Any questions? No? Yeah, well, great. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for all the good work you do. Thank you.
I was one of the new members in September.
Oh,
Actually, myself, my daughter, yeah.
nice.
I hope you're enjoying it.
Yep. My card and
Good
my
use
wallet.
of it.
Yeah.
And the online stuff, too, if you can't get in.
If I can't get in, but yes,
Yeah.
it'll be good.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have the Public Works Engineering Department Quarterly Report presented by Jason Farrig.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. So this is the quarterly report and update for the Public Works and Engineering Department. We'll go over updates for the three primary divisions of the department: our maintenance and operations, capital improvement program, and our development engineering program as well. Before we get started, I just wanted to mention a few staff additions that we've had to our department in this last quarter. We've brought on Carlos Geronimo, who's started at the beginning of October as principal engineer. He's in the back there, so he's been here for just over a month. Carlos comes to us. Previously, he was at the city of Menifee for about almost 12 years. Most recently, he was an engineering manager there, overseeing their capital improvement program. And so he's already been a big addition to our team. He will be helping in all parts of the department, but one of the special areas of focus is he will be overseeing our development engineering division. helping to work with developers and applicants to get them through the process on their projects. We've had a very high volume in land development over the last year or two, and so he'll be spending a lot of time and effort there, working with applicants, working with our consultants, and helping get through that process. Also, just I wanted to take a moment to mention Diego Castillo as well. He joined at the beginning of September in our maintenance division. He's not here this evening, but he's the fourth team member of the maintenance workers, reporting to Dustin Wyatt, our field supervisor. And so you'll see him there with the rest of the crew out in the field working on road improvements. And so with that, we'll get started with the maintenance and operations update, and I'll invite Dustin Wyatt, our field supervisor, to provide that part of the presentation, and then we'll go on to the CIP and development, and then we'll open for any questions at the end.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, and good evening, Council. To run through some of these items, we're going to start off with some of our key items that we've completed. Our citywide striping. This is performed by contractors and our staff as well. So you'll see we've done some legends in that picture farthest to the left. Those are some sidewalks that we had refreshed. That was performed by our staff. The second picture that's an asphalt patch that is performed by our city staff as well. So hot asphalt patching is something that we're going to be beginning to do a little bit more. These are just some test runs. With weed abatement, obviously it's a never-ending battle. So we've been working really diligently on battling the weed abatement. With sidewalk repairs, it's the city's first. So internally, again, our staff has been completing some sidewalk repairs citywide. To go a little bit more in depth with that, our maintenance crews completed sidewalk panel replacements in various locations throughout the city. 2 separate locations, one in front of William Collier Elementary School, and the second on Sellers Road. Both were damaged by tree roots. We see sidewalk panels that get lifted by tree roots. And if they're unable to be temporarily patched, ground down, those types of things, then our best option is to replace those panels. And now the city has staff that's capable of doing that in-house, meaning we do not have to utilize contractors any longer for any of those items. Some of the quarterly statistics, some of the highlights would be the increase in pothole repairs in September, as well as our catch basin cleanouts. We had in September, obviously, we have 264 catch basin cleanouts. And if you don't know what that is, basically it's those drains on the side of the road. We go into those catch basins themselves, clean out the sediment, the debris, anything that's vegetation-wise that would restrict water flow to make sure that it's good for the storm season. In October, we had a noticeable increase in weed abatement. I have to give a shout out to the Wildomar beautification volunteers who've done an incredible job assisting us with the weed abatement, and I can't say thank you enough, because as you can see, we've done 8 miles in October alone, and those are curb miles, so that's a lot. That's trailer fulls, removing by hand those tumbleweeds, so they're never ending apparently.
And there's 8 more miles out there still.
And many more than that, yeah. So it's been a never-ending battle. But just to run through them, the potholes and square footage and the total that we've completed so far is 1,510. Some of the potholes, as far as tons of asphalt, we've used 7. 289 catch basins have been cleaned. 250 square feet of graffiti removal. Those are some of the highlights. Our upcoming planned maintenance includes our city street name and regulatory sign replacement. So obviously our regulatory sign replacement is speed limits, stop aheads, those things that warn people of any change in the road or speed condition. And then obviously our street name signs. Rainy season preparation with BMP placement citywide. We're working right now on utilizing sandbags, straw wattle, things of that nature to help mitigate some of the sediment discharge that we have throughout the city, such as Lemon. Roadway grading, Cottonwood Canyon Road and Lost Road. Again, typically that's been done by a contractor, and I want to highlight that the staff is performing this grading now, as well as the cleanup. So another non-contractor project. Sidewalk panel replacement, weather permitting, obviously rain, concrete, they don't mix. So unfortunately, if there's rain, then there'd be postponed or soil conditions. But that will be ongoing and regularly scheduled weekly. School zone restriping during winter break. Again, now with our staff's capabilities, staff is actually going to be completing the school restriping of all the legends and crosswalks. And our citywide restriping. So citywide restriping, again, some of that will be performed by staff such as Legends, but the majority of it will be performed by contractors, which is ongoing. So our street name sign replacement program, the program to replace old existing street name signs with new city branded street name signs. Obviously, it's to update those old county green ones to those beautiful blue ones with the Wildomar logo on them. The program has been in progress for several years. As of now, total we have 591 of them. We've completed 369 and we have 222 pending. Just to run through the program itself, the sign replacement occurs throughout the year as part of the routine maintenance program. So this will be added monthly to whatever regulatory signs are also on the list to be repaired or replaced. The sign replacements are prioritized off of street, condition of existing signs, and available budget. And lastly, this is a map that we have drawn up to represent some of the communities that have been completed with the updated city nameplate signs. Of course, this isn't an entire representation of all the signs that have been completed throughout the city, but we want to highlight some of those larger communities and areas where we have completed it. And with that, that is all I have. Jason, did you want to wait for questions?
Yeah, I think we'll do questions at the end all at once, if that's or if the council would like to ask any questions now. Okay. All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dustin. So moving on to our CIP division, just some highlights on some of the key projects that we are continuing to work on. So the first is the Palomar and Cemetery Improvement Project. Originally, we had projected this project to be complete by the end of this calendar year. We have an updated completion date for February of next year. We've run into utility conflicts on Gruwell Street. There's a gas line there that needs to be adjusted. We're working with SoCal Gas to adjust and lower the gas line to maintain the minimum clearance requirements. So that's just prolonged our schedule just a little bit. This last quarter, a contractor completed installation of the new traffic signals. We have had a few issues with the signals since they've been installed. In one instance, we actually had some wire theft, which caused one of the signals to go into flash and malfunction. And then in the other instance, we had a controller failure. And so those things will all be resolved, obviously, before the city accepts the improvements. The multi-use trail was completed on the east side of the road. Irrigation improvements have been ongoing, and there's been the ADA improvements on the cemetery property inside the cemetery have been ongoing as well. Really, this may be the last update on this project before we accept it. So the next update may be the acceptance in January or February. But the upcoming work, SoCal Gas will be working to relocate their line through the end of this month. Following that, our contractor will start the final work on Gruwell Street to lower the street elevation. Then during the winter break, when school is out of session, the contractor will move onto Wildomar Trail at that intersection and reconstruct the entire intersection while school is out of session. Following that, they'll go back to Gruwell Street to drop the intersection of Gruwell Street to match the adjacent elevations. And then that's really going to be the conclusion of the majority of the project. Beyond that, there'll be just the final improvements, the landscaping, the signing and striping. So we're projecting the project should be done by February. For projects that are in design, our pavement management program is ongoing and almost complete. So we're expecting the final report from our consultant this month. Just as a reminder, that report will include updated rankings or scoring for all of our streets citywide, and it'll include multiple budget scenarios of what it would take from an annual funding perspective to either maintain our current levels on our roadways, increase the levels to a certain threshold or a certain goal to help the city better make better informed decisions on budgeting for future roadway rehab. And so our goal is to bring that forward to the council for adoption either in January or February. With that, we'll also present the unpaved roadway program update, which is one of the future agenda items, and what that program includes and what the city's options are to further develop that program if desired. On the road rehab, we're working on getting this year's project out to bid, which is the Bundy Canyon Road Rehab from Mission Trail to the eastern city limits. We're finishing the bid package for construction there. We're targeting advertising that before the end of this calendar year so that we can award in January, February, and get that constructed. With that, we're also planning to include a slurry seal for several of the communities that were approved in the resolution that was adopted earlier this year for road rehab. We're continuing to work diligently on our two major roadway improvement projects, the Clinton Keith widening and the Bundy Canyon Road improvement. Both of these projects are near the finish line when it comes to design, but we're still working through final right-of-way issues and also final utility coordination issues. We've been meeting with, for example, on Bundy Canyon, having field meetings with Southern California Edison. There's some final agreements that we need to execute with them as they get ready to underground their lines with the project. SoCal Gas is getting ready to relocate their line in advance of our construction. And so we're making progress, but there are just a lot of steps as we kind of try to put the finishing touches. Similarly with Clinton Keith, we have some right-of-way conflicts we're working through and some utilities that we may need to adjust to work through those issues. And so some of those items, as we mentioned before, are a little bit outside of our control with respect to timing because we're working with other property owners or other agencies. And so we are continuing to work on those items weekly, but sometimes the timing extends based on the factors we don't control. So our next steps on these projects are to get them ready for construction, do a kind of an updated budget estimate for all of them, and then truly plan out our next steps for scheduling them for advertisement. With that, we're continuing to work on the Wildomar Trail restriping. I know this is an important item for council, for the community. We had a meeting with Caltrans this week to go over their latest comments. We do have to still make some more revisions to our design based on their feedback. We're trying to get something back into them in the next couple weeks here that hopefully they can approve so that we can move that forward. And so we are continuing to work on that. I just don't have a date that I can report until we have a Caltrans approval. And then two other projects that are in the design phase. We're actually going to be receiving and opening proposals for the design of the Sedco Boulevard roadway improvement project in the off of Mission Trail. Those come in tomorrow, so staff will be reviewing those design proposals, and our goal is to award those in February, a design contract, so we can get started on that design. And then we're also getting an RFP out for design services for the Sedco Line F2 storm drain project. So Dustin mentioned a sediment on Lemon Street. This is one of those improvements that can help alleviate some of that and also protect the properties on the southern side of Lost and Gafford from flooding. This is a project that's been in the budget for a few years, and we hadn't had the resources to get it started. Flood control has committed some funds to it, and so we are moving that forward at this point. And then with that, I'll just touch on a few quick updates on development projects, and we'll wrap up here. The Camille Townhome project is ongoing in construction. They've been grading. This is on the south side of Palomar by the city limits. They've been doing storm drain improvements and utility improvements. We expect them to start street improvements soon, but we don't have an exact schedule. So as we get those defined schedules, we'll make sure to post those publicly when we know that there's going to be a traffic impact. The Bell Ranch apartment project, this is east of Mission Trail and north of Olive Street. The building department issued building permits for their project last week. And so you'll start to see vertical construction on that project here very, very soon. And the Marriott Hotel is ongoing. They have had grading permits. They've been working on grading and drainage and retaining walls and utilities as well. And so that work is still ongoing. I don't have any specific updates on the building itself, but we're continuing to work with them on that. And then just a reminder, we do post project updates online, both for the development projects and the capital projects. On our website, on the homepage, there's a link, and it takes you to a page that will link to this map for development projects where residents can click and get more details. And then there's also another page for CIP projects with more details. That concludes our presentation, and we can answer any questions.
Great, thank you, and appreciate the reminder about where to go for those updates. Dustin, I have a question for you, if you don't mind. Will you please introduce the crew you have with you tonight from your crew?
Yeah, absolutely. This is Wyatt Olvera, if you wouldn't mind standing up.
Do you mind coming up to the...
Okay, good. And then we have Jordan Antonucci. Both of them are maintenance worker twos with the maintenance department, Public Works.
Awesome. We appreciate having you. So I just wanted to give a special thank you to you. There was a young child that was lost out here, and it's my understanding that you all went and helped the father find the child and reunite them together. So I just want to wanted to express appreciation for going above and beyond and noticing the problem and then seeking for resolution. Really appreciate you guys doing that. Yeah,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, any other questions? Any questions, Joseph?
Yeah. So I have a couple here, so let's see. Some of them I wrote down while Dustin was up there, but let's see. So you did go over the Wildomar Trail Freeway striping. So obviously we know Caltrans is going to dictate the tempo of this, but do our plans look like they're going to eventually pass muster with them?
They've given us some feedback on what their concerns are with our design, and so we think we have a solution that will address those concerns and meet our needs. And so we'll be presenting that to them in the next couple of weeks. And I hesitate to say yes definitively because they can come back and say no, but we think we have a solution that hopefully they'll accept.
Right, and obviously you know how to deal with them probably better than I would, but if at some point it's no from them, we're big boys and girls, we can handle it. We don't want another gun range thing. We're like, hey, community, it's coming, it's not coming. So, if they aren't going to do it, we're better off hearing that sooner than not. That way it won't tell people that we're going to fix it. That's that one. So when it says estimate for Bundy and Clinton Keith, estimated advertisement first half of 2026, what's likely to see the first movement by the end of next Christmas, or?
So our target or our goal is to, so if we advertise, there's usually, it could be anywhere from 4 to 6 months between when you advertise, when you award, and then there's usually another couple months before the contractor starts to break ground. And so because of some of the unknowns with some of the things, I didn't want to specify a specific date that we don't hit that target. And so, but based on our current progress, we're targeting advertising in that first quarter or first half. So I would expect movement or construction to be in the second half of the year.
Okay. Let's see. So when Dustin was up there and we were talking about now doing road grading, do you know where do we place Como? Is that one of them that we don't touch, or which status is that one in?
Yeah, so Como, the unpaved portion of Como Street is a private, non-city maintained road. So we don't maintain or do any grading on that roadway.
But somehow, like Cottonwood and those other ones, they qualify.
Yeah, so the county historically used to grade Cottonwood and Lost Road. So when the city incorporated, we carried on that practice.
All righty, and then with the street signs, they have the reverse signs now. And those are the non-maintained, but they still need to have a sign, right?
Yeah, so our practice on private streets, they're not part of our routine sign replacement program. If residents do request them and budget allows, we will place them. And so those ones we do place as inverted so that residents know that that's a private street that the city doesn't maintain.
Right. So I'm not sure if Como is on that list or not. I know that as you're leaving the city on Bundy Canyon, it's Harvest Way East. I think that has the regular color sign. I'd have to double check it and just look at it yesterday. But so I like the idea that the signs are flipped, and I think aren't some of the ones that are by the elementary, by Wildomar Elementary, those little streets, those are also in the not city maintained. Well, not Maple, like Illinois, or wait, shoot, is it Maple? Maybe which one's right behind the Maple?
Off the top of my head, I'm forgetting. Maple, oh, yes. Maple, at least a portion of it is non-city maintained,
Right.
yeah.
And because some of those have the standard color, and if they were flipped, then it would help explain, because even if they live on that street, it doesn't necessarily mean they are even up on, even if it's their house, they might not understand. So when we are replacing them, because it's a good, I like that idea. I mean, I remember one of the first ones was like Valencia off of Wait, I think. That's like, why is that reversed? And then I learned, and I think that helps.
Yeah, and we can make sure to look back to look at our process and just make sure when in our just routine replacement that we are designating private versus public. Typically, when we're a residents requesting it, that's when we make a point to identify it as private. But as part of our routine, we can just make sure that that we're capturing that as well.
Sure. And then you were mentioning about when Wildomar Trail and Palomar, or no, the whole Palomar project will come through, and they're going to concentrate on that intersection at Wildomar Trail and Palomar during the school break. And I'm sure you've been updated that right now it's on this really nice long timer, the lights instead of the loops. So do we have an idea of when that will be corrected?
I don't have a specific date for that, but I believe those signals will be placed on video detection, which will then eliminate the need for the loops. I don't know the timing, but I can look into that and report back.
That sounds good. So what it is, because that's a key intersection, which is fine if we know it. I know, like on my way to work the other day, which is like 5:30, and you're sitting there, for a long time, even though there's no traffic. And then in the afternoon, I went a different way because I knew that. So residents of Wildomar avoid that intersection like all day long, because that is a very long timer to accommodate everybody. But that was that one. That's really all I need to for here. Thanks.
So I've received many complaints about Wildomar Trail and Palomar. And I understand what you're saying, but if they're taking their children to school, they can't avoid it. And so as soon as possible, we can get that worked out. The timing is very long. That's the most complaints I'm receiving right now, is that signal.
Yeah, so I'll make sure to follow up with this. When that signal malfunctioned, we put in we put in basic timing to get it functional again. So it may not be optimized right now. So I'll follow up tomorrow with our traffic engineers and find out how quickly we can get that.
Okay, thank you. And another one that I've turned in before, but I don't know if it gets fixed and then it goes back, is Willow Bay and Grand. Sometimes you just wait and there's no cars coming on Willow Bay and you're just sitting there on Grand.
This is by the
David A. Brown,
right?
Mm-hmm. By David A. Brown.
Okay. We can look into that as well. I know that one is on, that has had problems in the past.
Yeah, it has had
on
problems.
video detection. And so sometimes it may be related to the camera and maintenance of the camera.
Okay, thank you. And then my question was also about the non-city maintained signs for the roads. We had a couple, I think it was last meeting, and they live off CERT, and so the streets of Maple, and then is the next one Illinois? And those street signs are so you can't even read them. But they are on non-city maintained roads, but still you can't even read them. So if we can add those in. And then I want to say thank you. We can totally tell a difference on the weeds. So thank you very much. And I know those things are so prickly. I hate those things, but thank you so much for doing everything. And also quickly jumping on the almond. I know it wasn't you. I know it was a contractor, but thank you for jumping on that and getting almond fixed.
And then I do have a couple questions for Director Farag. So I'd like to temper expectations or maybe just not get too excited, but can you give a little insight for the MDP Line F2 storm drain? So, I saw that we're expecting to have a contract issued in April. What's the actual turnaround time to actually for it to be developed?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So this is a design contract. So this means, we'll be starting the design. Design on could take up to 2 years. This is not a huge project, but the design process could take a couple of years. We are working with flood control on the project. They will ultimately maintain the storm drain, so they're going to be involved. We're executing a cooperative agreement with them. So I would just realistically not expect construction for at least, in the next 3 to 5 year period is when maybe it would be realistic to expect it.
All right. And then my next question is with respect to the Bell Ranch community. So I know you mentioned that the building permits have been issued. Do we have a completion estimate on when they are looking for the first move-in date?
We don't have a date from them yet.
Okay. Yeah. That's all for me. Thank you.
All right, I don't have any questions at this time. Thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to public comments. Do we have any public comments?
David De Pinza.
City Council. I live in the farm on Olive Grove Road, and last spring our neighbor installed a chicken coop. And I started researching all the codes and for the state, county, city, and the farm itself, and come to realize there's not all that much I can do about it. But about 4 weeks ago, another neighboring chicken coop is down the street about half a mile. I walk past it every morning. On this Saturday morning, after I'd already gone to work, but my wife was out, she sent me a rather frantic message saying that it looked like a house or something was on fire. And it turned out it was this chicken coop that I passed every day. And it turns out that, according to city regs, it's way inside the 10-foot setback. It's right on the property line, and it's close to the house. The owners of the house were not home, so fortunately, neighbors put out the fire and rebuilt it, which is fine. I'm sure this chicken coop has probably been there for longer than maybe the city of Wildomar has been in existence, so maybe it's a grandfathered in. But my main concern was that, it's right next to a wooden fence, so this thing was burned down. It could have spread to the house belonging to, that the owners have, and could have spread to neighboring houses. And it was deemed to be by the fire department an electrical fire, and so thought about our neighbors. They have wiring outside to their chicken coop, and I'm just concerned about what kind of development standards, codes. There doesn't seem to be a permission slip or permit for putting in a chicken coop in the city of Wildomar. You just do it, and there's very little except calling the valley, the Friends of the Valley, for making sure that they're cleaning up the chicken coop properly. Other than that, you could have a fire hazard anywhere in the city of Wildomar and not know it. I don't know whether you know how many chicken coops there are in the city of Wildomar, but I doubt that any of them asked for your permission to put them in. And I just have those kind of concerns. Insurance, not to mention my property values, but everybody else's. Fire is spreading. So I see my time is up, but those are my concerns. I think you have, I was told when I called in to see what the regulations were, that you were considering changing the setback from 5 feet to 3 feet, that's way too close.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Next public comment?
No other comments.
Okay. All right, approval of the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Brings us to consent calendar.
I'll make a motion for the consent calendar. Or, okay.
Oh, sorry. Do we have any public comments for consent calendar?
No public comments.
I'll make the motion for the consent calendar approval.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, public hearings. Item 2.1. Let's see. Second reading of adoption of ordinance number 257 and 258. Adopting the 2025 California Building Standards Code, presented by Scott Burns.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Before us this evening is the second reading and public hearing of the 2025 California Building Code update. As you know, the previous month, last September, we did the presentation of what those changes were. So we won't be having one tonight. This will just be for the public hearing and then the adoption of ordinances number 257 and number 258.
Thank you. Do you have any public comments?
No public comments.
Okay. Any questions? No? All right. Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion separate, Tom?
Yeah, one at a time.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 257, the second reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll make the same motion for ordinance 258.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0 for both ordinances.
All right. That brings us to item 3.1, presented by Adam Jantz.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, and fellow city staff, and members of the public. My name is Adam Jansen. I'm the finance manager here at the city, and I'm here with you tonight to present the first quarter FY 25-26 budget report. So, as you know, we did finish up the first quarter of FY 25-26. Which is the first quarter of our brand new biennial budget. So the audit for FY 24-25 is still ongoing. So So I'm still going to kind of just talk about some general trends without the numbers being finalized yet. So some general revenue trends over the last fiscal year that we've seen is overall our general fund sales tax, aka the Bradley Burns, has been sort of flat. It was up about 0.5%, but it was down slightly last year, which is when you factor in CPI, means that it's lost a little bit of purchasing power. Our AA sales tax, which does capture online sales, is up 2.55% last year over fiscal year 23-24, which is in line with CPI, so that's maintaining its value. Our valuation-based property taxes were up about 5.47%. Which has to do with, of course, the rising housing prices being incorporated into our property tax revenues. As more and more houses change hands, they get reassessed at higher values, so that has been helpful to us. But over time, that will decline, of course, as to, generally speaking, with Prop 13, they can only increase about 2% under normal situations until they get reassessed. And development revenue has also been up about 23%, and that is mainly due to the revised fee schedule, which went into effect in the middle of the previous fiscal year. So this is the first full year of the revised fee schedule, as well as we have seen an uptick in the last little bit of activity at the tail end of the fiscal year. And some expenditure trends we have been seeing, though. We have been seeing some trending high on our legal expenditures due to increasing enforcement and of code cases. Also, the City Hall building maintenance has been trending upwards. Of course, we purchased this City Hall building with ARPA funds in November of 2023. And as we took it on, we've been it's about as old as the city is. As I recall, the building was constructed around 2007. So it's getting about that time when there are some aging items that are being dealt with in terms of carpeting and pipes, and we've had some access control things with the doors. So there are higher maintenance costs than maybe we had perhaps thought initially, although we're still saving money versus the original lease amounts when we were spending over $450,000 a year on the leases. Public safety costs are, of course, rising. That's no surprise. We've seen the 7% increase in the sheriff and potential 9.5% in the subsequent year. We did see some savings in fire due to the delays in hiring the 2 additional positions for the 66-hour work week. And of course, there has been an uptick in development activity over the last 3 or 4 months of this current kind of quarter, and those builders are coming in. But so at this point, so there may be some adjustments. They continue to be high, but that will be balanced with both revenues and the expenditures of course, developers pay the fees to cover the cost of their applications. And so we'll keep an eye on that as it continues. Now, on this first quarter budget report, we do have some proposed adjustments. So some of these adjustments are for items that were previously approved, and so we're just incorporating them into this quarterly budget report, such as for the new city manager contract, which was approved in September on September 26th. There's some adjustments for the revised rates. Also, we've moved forward the remaining balance of the PO for the records retention implementation. That was we're about halfway through that last year, and that got we still have the remaining half of that to be. We carried some of that balance forward into this year for the city clerk's office to implement the remaining parts of the records retention implementation to the scanning and indexing of it. We're also adding $12,500 for a hotel study update to our previous hotel study. They'll be updating that. And also, we received a revised cost allocation from the Riverside County Fire Department, which increased our share of their cost allocation, which includes all their dispatch and calls and those supplemental costs. But it increased overall about $121,000, and it's split between Measure AA and General Fund based on the composition of our safety crews. Some other adjustments are we're adding in the budget for the previously approved fire safety specialist, which was again previously approved. It's split to about 75-25 for for General Fund Measure A, and it's about a 6 month we're adding in for now because it's scheduled to begin in January. Also, the new business registration fee contract under HDO, we entered into one a couple of months ago. It was originally going to end in December, so we've now, after looking at the options, we renewed that contract, and so we're adding back in, now that we have that finalized, some additional expenditures in non-departmental for the business registration fees that they charge us. Also, some funds to host a WRCOG Fellow in Community Development, which is always a helpful item. Actually, of course, came on as a WRCOG Fellow myself several years ago, so it's a great program. So it's always worthwhile to enter that. And also, there are some changes to the schedule of authorized positions, a conversion of a senior planner to principal planner on the schedule. And also the conversion of a plans examiner position to administrative assistant to help with all the administrative duties with the upkeep of the building and safety division. And the addition of a part-time code enforcement position to be funded by cannabis development agreement revenue, so it will not impact the development the general fund at this point. It will be covered by the cannabis development agreement revenues. And also adding an unfunded position of a planning manager for potential future growth. And also an increase in community development for the interim community development director and for a contractual services support for the uptick in development, and also for, of course, the interim community development director being contract for partial year is slightly higher rates than if it were a staff position, so there's some adjustment for the higher rates that come with the private industry until that position is filled. And some other notes, the graffiti trailer, we did purchase a graffiti trailer. We took delivery of that about a month ago. It was a bit of an interesting, our purchasing specialist looked into that, and it was a bit of an interesting research. We actually found, I think, the best place to get it from a crew in Pacoima. it turns out that some of the other quotes we originally budgeted 20,000. I guess they were actually getting quotes from this person and turning around and marking it up to us. So that's why it was kind of a no-brainer when we found them for 13,000. So 7,000 less than we budgeted, and it will be reimbursed from our special tax revenue for graffiti removal. So that's a pretty nice find. So that'll leave us some extra budget revenue for paint and other such accessories for the trailer. And also the vehicles. So 4 of our original 7 leased vehicles from Enterprise Fleet Management have reached the end of their lease term and have been purchased by the city. So that's kind of, even though we've been using them, it is nice to have those officially be under our name. And also we've begun, and we're getting ready to begin enforcement of no overnight parking in the City Hall parking lot. And we have also received permission from other property owners that are part of the Plaza's CC&Rs to install security fences in the parking lot to help secure the vehicles of our now increasing fleet. Currently, we spend around $45,000 a year, and honestly, there are still some security issues even at the storage facilities, as we found. And so, with that, that concludes my presentation, and I'm open for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Do we have any public comments?
No public comments.
Okay, Joseph.
Just a couple. So we're talking about City Hall, and there's additional things of upkeep that maybe we underestimated initially, right? But they were going to materialize. The carpet was going to need to be replaced, and whatever else happened was going to happen. And so there's this thing, triple net, right? So that even had we not bought the building, if we needed the extra space, which we ended up taking, then, because whoever owns the building would have you pay these things anyway. So if anybody's watching thinking, oh, well, that's one downside of owning the building, well, yes, but no, because whoever rents it actually pays it according to the contract. So just wanted to get that out there. And then you mentioned a hotel study update. Did I hear that right?
Yes.
So do we have, the first one paid off because we got a hotel coming. So can you give a reason for a second one?
So in short, the numbers are stale, and the numbers should be better now because those were based off of COVID numbers. So we've had a lot of interest in hotels recently for Wildomar, which is very exciting, but they want to see updated data. They want to see what the numbers are now. And in theory, it should be much better for us because we won't be working off of COVID numbers.
Right. Well, and then the fun part is, all right, because I think the first one was about 25,000. So it's inflation time. So where are we? What's the estimated cost for the next one? Do we know?
12.5. Yeah.
Oh, well then, bonus. Half the price? Okay.
It's a deal.
I was going to ask that also. So the last time the hotel study showed we kept 3 hotels, correct? And then so is it saying that they just want the updated? It's still 3 hotels. Our city could support 3 hotels, but they just want the updated numbers for that?
We anticipate that it'll still maintain 3 to 4 hotels, but that the numbers for hotel stays will be better. It will be more enticing for the hotels to want to come here because the data will be better. But we still anticipate it was 3 to 4 hotels at the last study.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then remind me, if we get 2 hotels, and that's when we could do the other special tax that was like for marketing or
The Tourism Business
Yes.
Improvement District.
when we have 2 built.
When we have 2 under contract ready to go. I don't think they have to be built.
Okay.
I think they have to be in process.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And then my other question, the graffiti trailer. So is it ready to go?
I'm sorry, the graffiti trailer?
Graffiti trailer?
Yes.
I know a spot. They always get the fence, and we just drove by, I think, yesterday on the corner of Mission Trail and Seco Boulevard. We have painted that fence 20 times, and they just did it again the other day. And it's crowned 1, the paint, the color. Cool.
Okay.
That's awesome. And then HDL, I thought we weren't that happy with them, so we're staying with them.
So instead of bringing them in-house, we did want to go with a third-party administrator. It works a lot better for our resources at City Hall. The way that I kind of described HDL is we've been to marriage counseling, we've been to therapists, and now we understand each other. So, and really just keeping that continuity for our business registrations and for our businesses, it was much easier to continue on with HDL than trying to redo the entire process with a different company.
Okay.
But we came to a really good scope of services with HDL, and it's been working great.
So are we still going to try to get, like, I still hear our businesses aren't receiving the statements to pay. So they still aren't receiving their business renewals, like a paper, like in the mail, please renew.
Can you refer them to me when that,
Okay.
because I'm not getting those complaints, but we can definitely look into that for sure. Yeah, they should be receiving them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to see a video of the graffiti machine working.
Oh,
It looks pretty cool. Yeah, like a demo. It looks pretty cool. But other than that, good job. I have no questions.
Would you like to use it, sir?
I'd like to check it out, man. Hey, I'll be part of the video. Yeah,
definitely.
looks pretty heavy duty.
Yeah. We'll
13
look-
grand. I want to see what that does.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that. Well, just since we're on that topic, how many paints can it use? Do we know, Daniel or Adam?
Not sure how many paints. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Can you have multiple paints? Can you mix paints?
So the graffiti trailer is the first portion of what we would utilize for the actual graffiti abatement. So it is a hot pressure. And so what it does is helps lift off the material before we even have to paint it. So if we need to paint, then it's actually a lot less of an area. And so the other portion, as Adam was bringing on, was that then we do a paint application, which is not automatically attached to that trailer, but it could be placed into it.
Oh, okay, great. So it's used more for the preparation? Okay, great, thank you. All right, Carlos?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I also know a great spot to test that graffiti trailer at. As you get off on Bundy Canyon, that brand new wall that we just got tagged. So just something to look at. But I did want to talk about one of the items that are proposed in this budget adjustment. So last month, I had the privilege of going on a ride-along with some of our set officers and with code enforcement during homeless outreach. I really got a deeper understanding and appreciation for the work that they do. I think that there's definitely a need to have additional staff for code enforcement. I think at a minimum, just thinking of the safety of our staff, right? As they go in, they travel into these remote areas. The ingenuity of just what you come across is really, really impressive. I just wish that those folks would utilize that for good. But before we make that decision, I think it'd be important for us to come to a consensus on our approach for enforcement and having that discussion before we discuss staffing levels. So I know back in May and June, when this was first brought to us, we had asked our interim city manager at the time to get a better understanding and assessment of our needs. So I guess at this time I will defer to our city manager and I just ask for your opinion. What are your thoughts? Do you think right now is the time to bring on a part-time staff member, or do you think that we need to perhaps solidify or agree as a council what our approach to enforcement should be?
Yeah, that's right. I believe it was the night that I was appointed as interim city manager. There was an item on the agenda that included the addition of a number of positions, including 2 part-time code enforcement officer positions, and the council looked to me for an opinion. I believe at the time I said, well, I've been here for about 15 minutes, so if I could have a little bit of time to assess the organization and the budget, that would be helpful before I offered an opinion. Since that time, it's been a bit of a moving target. We have, on the one hand, taken some responsibilities off of the plate of code enforcement. We've rearranged how we handle business licenses, as an example. On the other hand, we've asked quite a bit of them. We've asked them to stagger their shifts, to have coverage, Monday through Friday. We've asked them to further adjust their shifts to have weekend coverage, and so now At least once, sometimes twice a month, we have coverage on Saturdays. We're moving towards also having coverage sometimes on Sundays, so it alternates, so it's not so predictable. So that throughout the course of a month, we will be covering all 7 days of the week, so that people who are looking to take part in activities that are against our code cannot always predict when our code enforcement officers will be out in enforcing, which I think is important. And to their credit, the Code Enforcement Division has adjusted. These are big changes for them, so I really appreciate that. Their caseloads are heavy. They are spread fairly thin, and because of the types of cases we're seeing, sometimes in remote areas, as you've mentioned, we're really trying to send them out in twos whenever possible, just for their safety. So when we have staggered shifts and weekend shifts, it does spread them a little thin sometimes to always be able to go out in twos. You throw in there, I'm not sure why this is, but in our policy manual, we do allow for days off occasionally, like vacation days. I think we should reconsider that personally, but it is in the policy manual. And so when someone's out, sick or on vacation, it makes coverage really difficult sometimes. So their request at this time, they initially came to me with a request, to bring back the request for the 2 part-time positions. I wasn't ready to recommend that. I said, well, let's start by recommending 1. Since we had those discussions and the staff report was put together, I have had conversations with a couple of members of the City Council, and I understand that there might be a desire to further drill down on what our approach to enforcement is, what the priorities are for enforcement, and if the desire is to have that conversation before we make any decisions on staffing level changes, that does make sense to me. That's something that I would absolutely support.
Any more items to discuss on the budget?
No, I just.
Okay, so do you want to, so let's discuss that, this item of the budget, part-time code enforcement officer. So,
I like what Chris just recommended. From what I understand, you just said, put our heads together, discuss an approach first before we decide on more staff, right? More personnel. I think it makes sense. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would think that, that, like you said, if we can figure out which direction to, and so that for how much coverage we need, so whether that's like a workshop or something to get going, so whether if it's your determination to hire afterwards, maybe that does make sense, so.
Okay, but I think originally, Councilmember Marquez, you were saying that you went out and you saw the need. So I think the recommendation right now is for the part-time person, which would alleviate some of the coverage, and we need it. So I know right now I've been receiving concerns about homeless individuals that are sleeping underneath the Wildomar Trail bridge, because that's where the students are walking to school. And so, I mean, I'm okay. I like, for sure, reevaluating, but that's going to take time, and we need now coverage now. And you yourself said that you noticed that. So I'm okay with doing the part-time now, and then if the need comes back, then the part-time, if we need it more, then the part-time could go to full-time.
Or less.
Or less. If it comes back, we don't, but I'm sure, I think we need it.
I can see both points being true. I think we do need to evaluate and assess and agree on, our approach. I do believe that. I also do think that they're stretched really thin. We went from 4-day coverage to now we're trying to do some combination of 7 days, not 28 days in a row, but we're trying to have that maximum coverage that we can have right now. But I do see the need for evaluating our approach and drilling in on our priorities. So I would really like to see us do that. So as I'm understanding it, it's one part-time position that's being recommended. That still means on those Saturday, Sundays, we're going to need, there's still going to be some people flexing their schedule to create that coverage, correct? So, so while I can see the wisdom in potentially holding off, I do also think that I'm inclined to maybe do both right now. So we're not looking at the 2 part-time positions. We're looking at one position. Yeah, one position. So I'm kind of I guess a this and that type of approach, because I think that's some good points that we need to drill down on that and create a cohesive approach. And then we also do need the coverage to help our small code enforcement team to stretch those into the 7 days coverage. So that's, I don't know. Do you have any counter points to that or any thoughts?
No, I mean, I think we're having a healthy discussion. I think at the end of the day, it's wherever we get our consensus. So wherever there's a majority, then that's what we'll do.
Okay.
I'm going with what you just said, Ashley. It was a fair compromise. It gets right in the middle at least, gets we're all some help, and then, yeah, then we can still deliberately discuss what the hell we're doing and how we're going to do it. So,
yeah.
Okay.
All right. So do you want to make a motion? Oh no, that's just part of the budget. Never mind. We don't have to make a motion on that. Yeah, it's just.
Well, I'll make a motion on for resolution 2025-64.
Oh wait, do we have? Okay.
Yeah, there is a motion with this, or there is a resolution with this item, so you would need.
Oh, this item, yes, okay.
So Dustin,
The motion for 2025-64 with the added caveat verbiage phrase with 1 half-time person for code enforcement.
Which is already included.
Right now it's
Yes.
2, right?
No, it's
No.
one.
Just one. Okay, then as is.
Yeah.
As
we're
is.
good. Yeah.
okay, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that brings us to item 3.2, Wildomar pre-approved accessory dwelling units, presented by Abdul Legar.
Madam Mayor, if I can just quickly jump in. With this the previous agenda item, we approved with the reclassification from senior planner to principal planner. So congratulations, Abdul.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hey, congratulations.
The planning and building departments are extremely proud to announce our progress for our pre-approved ADU plans. Sorry. We've been working on this for about almost a year. A little bit of a background. As some people may know, architect fees are very expensive. For ADUs, they can range anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000, and that's a big barrier to affordability when it comes to ADUs. About last year, during a conversation with WRCOG, the Western Riverside Council of Governments, we found out that there is available funding to cover the 100% of projects that allow increased affordability for housing. So we decided, we realized that we can use that for pre-approved ADU plans. This whole entire project would cost us, if we paid for it ourselves, over $100,000. So being able to have that completely for free is an amazing thing. So a little bit of background on the plans. These permit-ready ADU plans, we're preparing 6 different floor plans and 3 elevations, so people can combine any combination of the floor plans and the elevations. The consultant did a survey of the entire city to see what the most common architectural styles were for our single-family homes, and the architectural styles that are going to be in the plans will be the 3 most common ones that we're seeing. The ADU plans will range in size from 500 to 1,200 square feet. and will include studio, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom options. Like I said, each floor plan will include 3 architectural styles and a reverse plan option, with some floor plans also including a porch and patio option. Currently, the technical plans are in final stages of preparation for plan check review and should be available in estimated either the end of 2015 or first quarter of, 2025, my apologies, or early 2026. In addition to the plans, we are also proposing a guidebook in English and in Spanish for ADUs. And this guidebook would be for ADUs in general, information for anyone who wants to build an ADU within the city of Wildomar, whether it's the pre-approved or not. This would cover all ADU information, and it would be available in both English and in Spanish. So now I will present the actual plans themselves. These floor plans, if you can see, range from the 500 square foot studio. In addition, there's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and 3-bedroom, 1-bath. We also have 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, which are the 2 biggest floor plans. Now, we wanted to, going back to the first ones, we wanted to implement a 2-bedroom option that was under 750 square feet to further increase affordability. Under state ADU law, any ADU that's proposed under 750 square feet is exempt from development impact fees. Now, development impact fees can get into several thousands, so being able to save that money in addition to saving up to 20 grand on architect fees really allows someone to get a lot closer to affording a quality ADU, and which a quality ADU will only increase property values surrounding that property, in addition to that property specifically, and increase the look and feel of the city of Wildomar. This is the Craftsman style. The Craftsman style will have quality siding, masonry, veneer base, and contrasting colors and trims in order to give it a high quality look. This one is the Monterey style, which is kind of a Spanish style. It'll have Spanish tile roof, stucco, different windows. Now, these colors are just what are shown, but with the plans, people will be able to choose the colors that they want. This is the modern farmhouse style, which will include board and batten siding, specific different doors, different window trims, and alternate either a shingle roof or a metal roof. Metal roofs are a little more expensive, but they're more durable, but we wanted to give people that option. This is the 2-bedroom Craftsman style. This design is, as you can see, it's a modular design to kind of make it easier to construct. Modular, not as in modular home, like mobile home, but these are actual stick-built construction. But modular in terms of making it cheaper in terms of constructing, which will increase the affordability of the construction. This is the 2-bedroom Monterey style, and this is the 2-bedroom modern farmhouse style. In addition, this is the porch component. It is optional. However, we will have it as a checkbox on the plans. It makes the product look a lot nicer when you include the additional porch components. This is the patio porch component for the Monterey style. And this would change one of the windows into a sliding door to kind of increase that inside-outside flexibility. And it makes the home feel a lot bigger when you have that inside-outside option. There's a similar option for the modern farmhouse style as well, giving us the porch component. This is just a compilation of all of the renderings for all the different Craftsman Monterey and Modern Farmhouse. Now, these renderings don't include a 3-bedroom, but you kind of get the idea. The 3 bedrooms are going to look just like these, just slightly bigger. And that is the end of my presentation. Now, a little bit of detail on the actual plans themselves. Now, these plans are full, the pre-approved plans are full structural, they're going to include structural, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, Title 24, everything that is required for getting a building permit through the building department. The only thing that is not included is you have to provide a site plan because we still need to verify setbacks, etc. However, basically that would be included in the title sheet. The title sheet typically has check boxes for options that you can choose. You know what architectural style you want, what colors you want, etc. But this allows someone to save a ton of money, and they look really nice. In our opinion, we worked really hard with the consultant to create really good looking plans. This is the same designer that did the plans for Menifee, and I believe also Marietta and Temecula. So they're familiar with our region, and they've done a really good job. And Scott Burns, the building official, is also here to answer any questions related to the actual building permit plan check process and any structural questions. And I am here as well for any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments?
No public comments.
Okay, great. Stay close after you. Do you have any questions, Joseph?
Kind of, Abdu. Just so some of these are brought because of Sacramento laws and rules. So whether it's easier for the residents, which is good, we're all residents, but a lot of the momentum is coming down from the state, right?
Yeah, so I mean, ADUs are basically, and every city is mandated to adopt the state ADU regulations. So every single family home, every single family lot, even multifamily now, is required to allow ADUs. Now, what we want to do is to going a little backwards. As of January of 2025, the state also implemented what's called the pre-approved ADU program. So every city has to have a program in place, and we place a program in place. So any designer, so it's not just the city, but any designer is able to submit plans to the city to be pre-approved.
Sure.
Right.
So just and in general thing that the state has they passed various laws over the last decade plus that makes development, whether it's ADU or even the next level up, easier. I mean, there's not too many laws you can probably cite that makes things more difficult in the last dozen years.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And what we wanted to do with this pre-approved ADU program is if ADUs are going to be developed anyways, we might as well make it easier for someone to develop a really good-looking ADU rather than, we have to allow, for example, a mobile home to be an ADU, right? But if we can make it so that it's more cost-effective to actually build one that looks really nice, we give people that option.
Sure, appreciate it.
Okay, so it was mentioned under 750 square feet, then there's no developer fees. So could someone try to build two, but they're both under 750 square feet?
Under the ADU laws, you're only allowed one detached ADU per lot.
And then you had mentioned it, the same architect for the other cities as well as this. So then do they all look alike, or do we have our certain look?
We have our own look.
Okay.
So we made sure that they look different.
Okay, great.
We actually weren't able to choose our own architect, so that was chosen completely through WRCOG.
Okay.
The funds came from SCAG, and the consultant, and there's sub-consultants, but all the work was done by WRCOG, in terms of choosing who did the work, and we were working with them to make sure that we had plans that fit our identity as a city.
Okay, so if someone wants to choose one of those plans, they contact our building official, and then he sends them the plans?
So we would have them on our website.
Oh, okay.
So they'd be available on our website in addition to the guidebook, which gives all of basically the instructions and everything you need to do. You'll be able to download them, and then you would take them to, let's say, a drafter. You don't have to pay an architect, but the drafter can do that site plan for you. But the plans themselves would be pre-approved, so you wouldn't have to go through. You would also not have to pay plan check fees. You would just have to pay your permit, whatever the building permit fees are, and you would just submit that. So it's already done, so you wouldn't have to spend a ton of time waiting for an architect to draw up your plans. So the plans are already pre-approved.
Right, so then they go out, they hire someone, they build it, you go and check it, and it should be fine because it was already pre-approved and done.
Yes.
Well, that's a great benefit for the residents.
Well, yeah, I agree. It's pretty streamlined, so.
Yep, absolutely. Carlos? So yeah, I've perused them for some time on Menifee's site, and it's a great program. Happy that we are going to be able to bring it here. If anybody does want to get a preview of what it looks like, you can go to Menifee's website and look at them there, right? It's not exactly our plans, but similar until we get them on our site.
They're similar in that, I mean, they're all under 1,200 square feet, so there's not much variation you can have.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many different architectural styles. But yeah, we made sure that ours have our own, we made sure some of them have nice gooseneck lights, for example, stuff that really makes them pop. And we really like, for example, the 3-bedroom one. It has an option to even include a walk-in closet. So we said, look, if someone is going to have an ADU, we want them to live in some place that they're like, okay, this is really cool. It even has a walk-in closet, for example, which you have an apartment, you don't really have walk-in closets. That's something that you have in like a traditional single-family home.
Well, we appreciate your that level of detail and for looking out for that. So that's great. Thank you so much. And then I just had a question: how much time will this take off the process of an ADU versus starting from scratch?
Well, I mean, everything is all estimates. I have never hired an architect myself, but from people that we've talked to, that process can take months. Architects sometimes are very busy, and you just have to get in their queue. So you have to pay them all this money, and you have to wait for them to draw up the plans for you. And then if there are corrections, for example, some of these, like I've seen some of this permits take a year to be done, but it's not really this from the city. It's that they hire someone, and then we have to go through 4 rounds of corrections because their architect is maybe, I don't like to say incompetent, but sometimes they are. And it just takes a long time. So this will take all of that out. In addition, it saves plan check time. Like, I mean, I can't speak for the building department's exact timelines, but because of the lack of full plan check, it also saves that amount of time as well.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate all your work on this and your attention to detail. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? Okay, so do you have a motion? Receive and file, yeah. All right, thank you. All right, item 3.3, updated fencing recommendations for Bundy Canyon Road and Monte Vista Drive, presented by Jason Farrig.
Good evening again, Mayor and members of the City Council. So I don't have a presentation on the screen, so I was just going to present the staff report to you and staff's updated recommendations. So just a little bit of history. Back in 2020, the city entered into a cooperative agreement with Riverside County Flood Control regarding the lateral C basin at Bundy Canyon and Monte Vista. So that project is a 19-acre detention basin intended to alleviate downstream flooding on the south side of the freeway. Flood control has obviously been in construction. Thank you, Ju. Flood control has been in construction on that project for a little over a year now. When we entered into that cooperative agreement with flood control, part of the agreement was that flood control would design the street improvements on Monte Vista on behalf of the city, and the city would pay for the street improvements. And so they've recently just completed the street improvements on Monte Vista. One of the options in that agreement also was that they would design an optional decorative fence for the basin that the city could choose to build or not build. At the end of the day, it would be the city's cost. In 2024, staff provided a presentation to the council regarding the fencing options for the basin. And there were two options. It was include the chain link fencing, which was standard with the basin. Flood control is going to put it in. They'll pay for it and they'll maintain it. The other option was the decorative fence option, which would be city cost, city responsibility to maintain in the future. As a reminder, on the decorative fence option, it was pilasters every maybe 8 or 10 feet with wrought iron fencing in between each pilaster and a short block wall. When staff presented that option to the council, the cost that we presented to you was cost to the city just under $500,000 for that fence. We made an error in that cost. It was my mistake. When we looked at the bid tables for flood control, there were 3 bid items for the decorative fence. The language that they used in those bid items was a little bit unclear. And so we used the total of 2 bid items. There was a 3rd bid item that should have been included. And so based on recent conversations I've had with the flood control project manager, that 3rd bid item would be part of the fence cost. So that adds another $211,000 to the cost of the fence. And so that brings the total cost of the fence to, just about $700,000. The project is nearing completion, and flood control's contractor is getting close to wrapping things up. They've installed the chain link fence. And so at this point, staff wanted to provide an updated recommendation to the council for your consideration, which would be to let flood control complete the project with the chain link fence in place. And if there's still a desire by the council to evaluate some additional screening options for that basin, to provide that direction to staff so that we can evaluate those options as part of a standalone city project. Go ahead. One thing I wanted to note is flood control awarded the contract to the lowest bidder on the project on the total contract cost. So everything in the basin project they awarded to the lowest bidder. This contractor was not the lowest bidder on the wall items in particular. I think the lowest bid was maybe at least another $100,000 below their price. So there's an option for the city if we were to evaluate, or if there was a desire to still pursue decorative fencing, the city could do that as a separate project and have separate bid results just for that fencing. The city could evaluate different screening options for the fence if desired, whether that's a big block wall, like what flood control had included, something as simple as putting slats in the fence, something wrought iron, different options that could be evaluated.
How many square feet is this? How many feet in a fence?
It's, I think, close to about 2,000, I think about 2,000 linear feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on Bundy.
On Bundy and on Monte Vista all the way down.
Okay. I'm just saying, it's $1 million for a fence.
Just some additional context I wanted to provide. So we have limited right-of-way on the east side because of the basin. And so the plans in the city's active transportation program include a trail on the east side of Monte Vista. So at some point, if we build out that trail, we would be putting trail fencing along the curb, which in and of itself may provide some barrier, some screening. We did get a scope and fee for the trail design as part of our Bundy Canyon West widening project. So that is a potential option where we could look at it with a project like that, or we could evaluate this as a standalone project. And so the recommendation tonight to council would be for to leave the chain link fence in place, and if desired, direct staff to evaluate additional options and present those to the council at another date for your consideration. I'm happy to answer any questions, and
I think it's a good recommendation. So
So once he already put it in, I already saw, contractor already put in all that, the fencing. So now, once we accept the project and it's complete, then we're responsible for the maintenance of the fence.
No, the chain link fence that's been installed, flood control will maintain. So if a
Okay,
vehicle
good.
drives into it and knocks it down,
I'm so tired of, we have fences all around town that have been, something's happened to them and they never get repaired.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's us, I'm just saying private property or whatever.
Yeah, so flood control is taking on the cost of installing the chain link fence, and they'll maintain it. Anything additional beyond that we want to do will then become city maintenance. But
So if we say we wanted to do slats, then we'd have to maintain that.
Correct.
And I think one issue with slats is graffiti. So if it's chain link fence, it's not as easy to graffiti because it won't show up.
We got a trailer for that now, so
Yeah, but
bring it on.
So, yeah, it makes sense to leave it the way it is. That would be my preference. But of course, it's brand new and it looks good. One issue is going to be whichever weeds, tumbleweeds or something. So if we have to pay for it, that's fine, because I have a feeling the county is as easy to work with as Caltrans on certain issues. But if not, but the idea is that if they will take care of the weeds once they grow on the inside, terrific. But we do not want that to be, because we know weeds grow once to twice a year. So this is not like if they do it once, oh, phew, they're done. No, they have to do it once or twice every year. So if they're going to be slow, I'd rather, it's our city, we want it to look good. So if that's the maintenance we have to do is Public Works, removing the weeds. Oh, they left, sorry. Giving you guys more work. But so that's something I'm looking at. But it actually, the way it is right now, I know they're not finished, but seeing through that fence, through that is actually nicer than I think looking at a green slatted fence, which is on Bundy adjacent to that area. So the way it looks now looks good. Like I said, then it's just about maintaining the weeds. And we know they love chain link fences, so.
yeah.
Any comments, Carlos? Any more comments? All right, I don't have any comments. I think it's a good recommendation. So yeah, thank you so much.
And thank you. And would you like staff to bring forward an evaluation at some point, or
For other fences?
For screening options and stuff?
I mean, if it's going to be significantly less than $1 million, dude, but I mean, I can imagine, know.
In that case, then we can proceed with the chain link fence, and then at some point in the future, if there's that desire, we can evaluate.
Probably the safer. See some time.
All right, thank you. That sounds great. Thank you. All right, council communications. Joseph.
Righty, yeah, it was busy. It was a really busy month. It was State of the City season. Went to the State of the City in San Jacinto, Murrieta, Menifee, Lake Elsinore, and Canyon Lake. And for the residents out there to wonder what that's about, it's really good to support our colleagues in other cities. There's things that come up, that's regional votes and whatnot. So having a rapport with other council members by attending their events and supporting them is a good thing. So did that. There was also the District 3 State of the District that I went to a kind of an event for TIP, which is Trauma Intervention Program, and another one for Project Touch. And there was a coffee with the cop at Montague Brothers. Like I said, that's busy on those ends. So with helping with residents, like this month I met with, had 2 different meetings, one with, that the mayor attended to with Elaine was her name, and we were working on issues important to her. I met with a couple, Mike and Linda, who have issues, and we're working through those. And if you're a resident and you're having issues, don't always just call Bridget. I know she loves it, but she probably would rather you call the people that are going to eventually be on your ballot. And then if you're stuck somewhere in the pipeline at the city and you need some help, that's what we're here for. League of California Cities did a Riverside County Division meeting just this week. I was out of the room for a minute, and next thing I know, I'm VP for the division. No. So, SCAG meeting was I'm on Community Economic and Human Development Policy Committee. We had a meeting this month. with RTA, there's T Now. And the latest one was at French Valley Airport, and the topic was e-bikes, which I think we're going to do a future agenda item on. Abdu was there and took notes on what we might put in a e-bike ordinance. Apparently it's...
Arrest them all.
It's a problem for many areas. Looks like we should probably take care of that. WRCOG, not a lot was done in the regular meeting, other than confirming Tony Hawk will be the speaker of next year's General Assembly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for all you skateboard enthusiasts.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's cool.
No meeting for RCA, which is Western Riverside County Regional Conservation Authority. No meeting this month. RCTC, I drove into Riverside today. That was a nice long drive. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it is, but nothing really to report. And then I met with a developer who's on his list is Wesley and Palomar. And I say that, so I've seen comments about this one from the public. So I'll just read a couple. It's so frustrating watching all of the land being built nonstop. All right. I hate this. Already way too many people out here, and the 15 freeway is awful. I hate developers. Another guy, Wildomar City Hall is bought and paid for. No stopping. And the last one is, isn't this our land? Isn't there any way to stop this? I hate to break it to you, but if your name's not on the title, it's not your land. We're in America, and if you own that land and you're following the rules, you get to develop it. And it's really odd. I mean, this is going to get insulting, so turn it off the TV. I apologize. But if you were in grade school and you're saying these things, I totally get it. But if you're a property owner or you've paid rent for a dozen years or longer, and you still think that the empty land across the street is your land, I just don't know I don't know how to address that. So anyway, sorry. That's my update.
I think I have pictures. Jude, do I just turn it on? We were trying to hook my phone up.
There we go. It's behind.
Oh.
That's what I'm here for.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jay's here to help me.
So we're going to use this as a trackpad. If you want to switch the photos, use 2 fingers and swipe.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we got to have these young adults here with us. This is our League of California Cities dinner. Joseph and I drove out and others, but we drove out together Monday night. And this is where Joseph, congratulations. See, I wrote right here. Congratulations, Joseph, on being awarded second vice president. Okay, 2 fingers. Oh, too fast. This was yesterday, so thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Carlos Marquez spoke at the VFW, the Veterans event. This was really well attended, and I think we should partner with them next year and capitalize on this. There was still room to grow. I think they can hold 87-ish in the room. And I think we could partner with them and have the VFW hold the Veterans Day event for a few years until our Veterans Memorial is built. Just have to throw that out there. Oh, did I do it wrong?
No, it's...
Jay. Okay, our coffee with the city, and this is, attended the Bluebells, I think there might be a picture of that too, event where Deputy Morales was awarded our Deputy of the Year, and this is with our mayor at the coffee with the deputies. Okay. Oh, there it is. This is actually at the Bluebells event. This is once a year, and it's Ontario, and it's very early in the morning. I had to leave so early to get there in time, but it's worth it. Okay, it's not working. Okay, there we go. And this was the State of the 3rd District. And so we were well attended. You see all of us there. And very, very nice to hear all the updates from our Supervisor, Chuck Washington. Okay, Jay just needs to come over here and do this. No, oh no. Okay, I did that one. Oh, the hospital tour. Oh, that's right. So if you have not noticed, we have a 7-story patient tower being built at Inland Valley Hospital. This is a private industry. The city is not building this hospital. This is a private industry. There's a $333 million investment they're putting into our community, so we are appreciative at Southwest Healthcare. And so we received, so it was really nice to tour actually a hospital before anyone was in it. So Mayor Pro Tem Marquez and I went. I know others went, I think, the next week. But this was really nice to see. Is that it? And we did that one. Okay. Also, I met with the same developer. So he it wants to build 95 homes on the corner of Palomar and Wesley, and I agree, Councilman Morabito. I saw the comments as well. It was referred to as open space. This is not open space. This is actually land that's not built yet. If you would like to purchase land and not build on it, you're welcome to do that. But if someone owns it and they want to build and they're going to build according to the general plan, then they have every right to do so. They have private property rights. I also met with the residents. I think they came to the last meeting and they had some concerns. They live on Sturt Street, so I did meet with them. The Elks Lodge, maybe I didn't show that picture, but the Elks Lodge I want to highlight on November 22nd, so in 2 Saturdays, they are going to be giving out 1,100 turkey dinners to our community. Amazing. You get the frozen turkey, so this comes in a refrigerated truck. That's why they did the Saturday before, because you have to let it thaw out. But you also get a box. It's going to have potatoes and beans and a whole pie. And it's a drive-through, so the Wildomar Beautification volunteers will be there. Thank you to the city and everyone who worked on getting that logistics. I know our RSO will be there, and we'll be helping with the cars because they're going to start lining up around 6 a.m. So we will be out there. And we're also, thank you to St. Francis of Rome Church because we'll be using their back parking lot also as staging. So thank you to the Lake Elsinore Wildomar Elks Lodge, Holt Ministries, and Centerpoint Church that are funding that. We also attended the Veterans event at the Senior Center and spoke over there. And one of the gentlemen, he still had his uniform. It was really cute. And let's see, I wanted to mention I did do the Ride the Vines in Temecula, a little envious of all the lovely bike trails they have there in Temecula. We'd love to see something like that for Wildomar one day. And then you and I went to the RTA bus rodeo. This is actually where you get to drive the bus on a closed course. I didn't drive this year, but Councilman Morabito did. And then we went to the AFE. You said that, the AFE. We went to Project Touch event. The Animal Friends is next week. And then we had the Fall Family Fun Fair. Oh, I had that picture. It was our picture of, you have it? Okay.
I don't have it. No, I don't have it.
Can I go back, Jay? Or is it too late? No, it's okay. Don't run up. It's okay. It's okay. It was a picture of Joseph as the filly, Karen. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then our beautiful mayor as well.
I'll keep mine short. I meant to get to the Veterans Day event at VFW yesterday because I was there the night before, but I left early. I wasn't feeling good. I've been sick like all week.
We need a partner next year.
Yeah, I think it would be good. That was great. Let's see. Ashley and I attended the science showcase at Sycamore Academy. That was really good. A lot of cool different things. We got to watch the little rocket shoot up in the air. Let's see, we celebrated the Marine Corps birthday on Monday, and I'll just call it good right there. So, yeah. 250.
As Councilmember Moore mentioned, I had the privilege of attending the VFW's Veteran Day ceremony yesterday. And to our veterans, I just want to say that it's your selflessness and your bravery that allow us to enjoy the freedoms that we get to enjoy every single day. So on behalf of the city, I just want to extend our gratitude and say thank you for your courage, thank you for your service, thank you for your devotion.
I don't have any pictures this week, but a lot of them have already been said. I also went to, I want to make sure I say Student of the Month this month. Well, let me cue that up. I was going to make sure. We had 3 Wildomar residents that were award winners this month. But on this program, it does not say their names or say what city they're from. But anyway, we had, I'm going to get back to that if I can. But dang it, that's the wrong view. It doesn't have the cities. Tyler Williford, I believe, was a Wildomar resident. I can't, so sorry. Tashaki Yamakito, I believe. I'll just read all of the Elsinore, Elsinore Unified. Alyssa Day, Emerson Castro, Victoria Contreras, Landon Hayek, Evan Castaridis, and Addison Myers were the students of the month. And then I was able to present for Pastor Appreciation Month at Grace and Truth Worship Ministries to Pastor Willie Oliver. Was able to attend the States of the City at San Jacinto Canyon, Lake Murrieta, Lake Elsinore, the State of the 3rd District with Supervisor Chuck Washington, our Wildomar Engaging Businesses. Appreciated our Sheriff's Department putting together our Coffee with the Deputies. It was a great event, very well attended, lots of law enforcement officers, and congratulations to our Deputy of the Year. That was amazing. We had Coffee with the City. I also went on a hospital tour with Joseph and Kim and Jeanette. And then a bunch of other things and tons of kids events with my own children at sporting events. It's been a really busy month. So that concludes my report, and that should bring us to City Manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have one item to announce. So when I started here 6 months ago now as interim city manager, the day I started, there was approximately a week and a half left before our community development director was leaving to go to another city. And I looked at our organization and the amount of work that was coming into community development and planning, and I panicked a little bit because I realized we could not be without someone performing that function for any real period of time. At that time, the city was in the process of finalizing an agreement with M&S Engineers for them to help us with overflow work for the planning department. And so I met with M&S and I said, listen, can we, as part of this contract, have you help us with these functions until we can find a permanent person for the position? Now, as an interim city manager, it's difficult to recruit someone at the director level because you've got the interim title. At that level, usually, if someone's going to come work for city, they want to know who they're working for, right, and what that management style is. And so I thought, gosh, it's going to be hard for us to fill this position for some time. So M&S assigned Robert Flores to help us with those community development director functions. So for the past 5 months or so, M&S and Robert, through that contract, have been helping us. And I have to say, it has been an incredible fit. Robert's been amazing. He's proactive. He's responsive to me and to the council and to the community. He buys into the approach we're looking for here, our can-do attitude, a desire to smooth the processes, to be business-friendly. I've just been impressed all around. But unfortunately, that temporary arrangement can't last forever. And so, after quite a bit of discussion and prodding and harassing and actually a little bit of begging, I'm very happy to announce that we have convinced Robert to stay with us long-term. And so the 15th of this month, Robert will officially become a city employee as our community development director. I'm very happy to have him. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, welcome on board. We're grateful you're here and happy to keep you. Thank you. All right. Any future agenda items?
I'm just not sure if it's actually an agenda item, but I just wanted to mention, and I'm not sure how it works. I know this center, like other centers, like the maintenance, it seems like it needs to bring up a little bit of standard because we do go out and clean like other shopping centers. And it just seems like some of the shopping centers in Wildomar need a little rehab or upkeep. And I'm not sure exactly if that's our role, though, or how that works.
Yeah, we can take a look at our code and see if there's anything in there that would allow us to, I guess, initially encourage the property owners, to do a little bit better job with maintenance, and if not, then to kind of force the issue a little bit. Well, we'll take a look at the code and see what leverage we have there.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, I mentioned e-bikes earlier, so I guess this is the time for a future agenda item. So if I can make it official, that I'd like to explore that for an ordinance on that.
Yeah, that's something that's in the works. The Sheriff's Department has recently put together a similar ordinance in Lake Elsinore, I believe, and so we're going to be working with the Sheriff's Department on putting a draft policy together for Wildomar.
Good stuff.
All right, so with that, we're going to adjourn this meeting in memory of Kenneth Mays at 8:04 p.m.
That was sweet. His wife is sweet. His wife is sweet.
Oh, sorry. To the December 10th. Good catch, Bridget. Adjourn the city council meeting to regular meeting on December 3rd, 2025 at 6 p.m.